Now that we've talked about what AI is, I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into what is generative AI. So like I mentioned in the previous video, generative AI is the fun part. It's the part that creates new things when you interact with it. This goes from songs to photos to video to anything that you can imagine. It can create something just from an idea or from a prompt. And a quick little fact here, I'm going to be referencing the word prompt across a variety of videos in this series. A prompt is simply the question that you ask AI when you're asking it to do something. It's just a short abbreviation for saying, hey, I'm going to ask AI this long question. That is a prompt. So an example of a prompt would be, create me an image of a cat walking down the street. That is a prompt. You're asking it to do something. Now that that is cleared out of the way, I wanted to talk about the journey of generative AI. And if you think about the role that phones have played in our life and how quickly phones have become just a necessity for us in our day-to-day life, as well as how fast the technology has progressed on these phones, where oftentimes the cameras are better than some very expensive $5,000 cameras. Generative AI has been evolving the same way. However, we have just not had it on our radar because it hasn't really been able to produce text output like it has recently, where it's been able to change the game for how we use it in the workplace. Now, you've likely been using generative AI already in your day-to-day lives. If you think about using Apple Music or Spotify and how it creates a specific playlist based on your interests or your previous listenings, that is AI generating a playlist based off the information that the AI has learned from you using the app in the past. Same thing with social media. Social media can create a feed of content that you might like based on the information the AI has learned in the past. It's generating a feed for you. And even in your day-to-day texting, AI has learned how people talk, how you talk, so when you're typing, it can recommend the next word or the next few words so you don't have to always type out everything every single time. This is AI learning how people are talking and then generating responses based off that. So you're already an AI pro. You just don't know it. So AI, just like ChatGPT or any other AI that can actually just communicate with you or create responses, is just as easy to use. And by the end of this video, you're not only going to be able to use it, but you're going to be using it like a pro. I've spent thousands of hours in ChatGPT, and then I spend another part of my day every single day reading up on the best techniques, reading up on new technology. And my goal here is to just make this such a superpower for you in your life that you will be a rock star in your business or in your workplace, and you'll become invaluable and stay ahead of the curve in the AI world. Now with generative AI, there are always going to be some pros and cons, right? The pros are the sky is really the limit. Your imagination is truly the limit when it comes to what you can create with generative AI. And it can honestly save you hours and hours of work every single week. But there are also some cons. If you're not asking the right questions, you're not going to get the right responses. Something we'll work on in this video series to make sure that never happens to you. You'll also notice that generative AI is still learning. It's not always going to be 1000% correct. However, you can always fact check it pretty easily, and I'll show you guys how to do that as well. But it's very, very simple. If it gives you a number, you can ask it where it found it from, and you can go see if that source is correct or not. It's really not that complex, and everybody actually gives AI such a bad rep for getting one answer wrong. But guess what? Humans don't get 100% of things right either. So as AI is continuing to progress, yes, it's going to get more and more accurate. In my personal opinion, I find its accuracy over 95%. I rarely have situations where it is inaccurate. And if it is inaccurate, I likely did not create the right kind of prompt or question for it to give me the best response. So a lot of times I find it's my own user error that created that inaccurate response. Now, remember that using AI, specifically generative AI, should be a balancing act. Use it as a booster to your life, to your productivity, and anything else you need. It should be something that you work alongside with, because remember, AI is not going to replace you right now. AI is here to help you do better work faster with less effort. And you should be using it back and forth and going back and forth with it and using it as a first draft and continuing to improve upon what it gives you and not just using it as a crutch to get through your workday and become a slacker. So that is one key thing that I want to mention. I see a lot of people rely on AI a little too heavily. They don't edit things and they don't interact with the AI. They just copy and paste and call it good. I don't like to work like that, but AI is that good where you could potentially just go through your entire workday copy and pasting. Now, with that being said, I want you guys to go into the rest of these videos with the idea that AI is here to help you, not replace you. So with that being said, let's jump into the next one.